You know what it is, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
You know who it is, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice Sody, Maurice Sody.
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy. It's the Black and Snerdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Woo! And we're back. We're doing it again.
I personally like my air horn better than that air horn.
Well, how about this? How about you do it
You're gonna let me
clean?
record the air horn and then you're gonna put it in? Yes.
Am I the kind? Yes, I am the kind of person who will let you do your air horn sound and then put it on the show. So here we go. You go. You got the floor. The floor is yours for the air horn. And now what I'm secretly going to do is isolate that and put it on top of this. So that at the same time it's going, you get like a backing air horn.
Okay, you know what? I'm here for it.
It's a double air horn.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so who are we?
All right. Well, hi, everyone. I'm your host, Odie.
And I'm your other host, Maurice.
And this is the Black and Snerdy podcast. I thought you were going to do like the old medieval.
That's actually a really good idea. I'm gonna, man, now I feel salty
wanna
that I didn't think of it first. It's
You
fine.
always have to have a King Arthur moment in your backpack.
Oh, for sure. And we're gonna do that now. I'm just keeping a running tally of all of the things that I have 101 freaking drops. And I keep finding on each episode, let that be a drinking game too. How many more drops Maurice needs to continue to add to his collection?
Anytime he says, I want to make this a drop. If he references making it a drop, you need to drink.
Yes. And honestly, if the next episode I haven't made it a drop, I'm the one who needs to drink. So email us at Black and Snerdy
You
Podcast.
just want to drink.
Yeah, so how have you been? It's been, oh, fuck. How have you been? It's been a minute. It's fine.
I've been good. I've been missing the podcast, and we haven't. What was it been like a week or 2 weeks? We didn't record.
Actually, it's been a little longer than that because the last time we recorded was your birthday.
Was it before or after I went to Texas?
Well, it was before you went to Texas. We're not really counting that other one because that one was just like a little
blip.
Yeah, that was a blip and didn't do anything. But yeah, like that was the last time I think. So how have you been since your birthday? How was your trip? All of the questions.
Okay, so first, Houston was okay. I'm gonna give Houston a 7 out of 10. I thought the food was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the things I visited were really fun. Galveston to me was like top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was my favorite part. Even though I wasn't like doing much there, I was in Galveston during Juneteenth.
Ooh.
And I really was like excited for that because I just felt like I was really like with the ancestors, and I went to the beach and I got to be like, thank you, ancestors, for all that you did. And if you don't know, Juneteenth was Galveston, Texas was when Juneteenth happened, or the celebration, because of the fact that that's when the last enslaved people found out about the Emancipation Proclamation. And so in that area, like they always have like a parade or just a lot of different events. Mm-hmm. And that has now, like, Juneteenth has now been made into a national holiday.
Yes, it has. That is worthy of celebration.
It is super worthy of celebration. The only thing is, like, we have Juneteenth, but one, I don't think white people should be able to celebrate it. That's number one. Number two, what about the Civil Rights Bill, the anti-lynching bill? What about the Voting Rights Act, because they're trying to dismantle it? What about this freaking filibuster that's causing the infrastructure? Like, the things that are going to help black people that you are refusing to sign into law? I want those things. Don't just give me a holiday because you gave us Martin Luther King, but aren't people still getting shot on the street? We're still having, Flint still doesn't have clean water. I think it's Company. I can't remember. Little Miss Flint just turned 15 or 16 last week or so. Still having to raise money. She's been trying to raise money for Flint since she was like 5, and we're still here. So glad we have Juneteenth, but I'm not happy that they're just giving us these symbols versus actual action and reparations. Number one. and student loan debt. Number 2, all these things.
And what do you think the source of all of this is?
White supremacy. You just
drink. No. But I'm right there with you. I actually do. And a matter of fact, it was just the one thing that you said that reminded me of a gripe that's later coming, because I had a whole nother thing that I wanted to go off on, but you just reminded me some bullshit that also went down. But I am happy to hear that
it was fun.
Your stay in Galveston was like impactful. It sounds like you came back with like invigorated passion. Why is that funny?
Because you were so passionate when you said it.
Yeah. Shouldn't you say passion with passion?
Yes. It would probably be oxymoronic if you did not.
Yeah.
But speaking of Texas, I want us to slide down the road and go buy some what? What? Wait, no. Play that again.
That's you.
What am I saying? Dive in?
Yes.
Is that what I was singing Trey Songz?
I think so. I don't know. Yeah, because I always say like let's dive into or let's slide into some dirty. But anyhow,
yes.
So why don't you hit me with the pop? What's going on?
So first thing, so I told you I went to Texas.
Yes, you did.
And I told you that I really enjoyed the food that I had in Texas.
Yes.
Right? One of the places that I went to was Turkey Leg Hut. Now, if you have not heard or seen or don't know anything about Turkey Leg Hut, it's a black-owned business. I think they were started in Houston, but they probably have more around the state.
Like they were small and then they franchised out.
I think so. But I know definitely Houston is something that like people talk about that all the time.
Okay, like it's like a regional sort of thing.
Yeah, and so I got, just to picture it, was a very Texas meal. It was this huge turkey leg, smoked and smothered. It was stuffed with red beans and rice, and smothered in a Cajun shrimp Alfredo sauce over this huge turkey leg that was like the size of my arm.
Now, for the listeners, anytime Odie goes on vacation, all of these foods that she describes and talks about, I get a picture of them. And I got to tell you, it always just seems to happen to be around the time that I'm on a diet and or I'm just eating something really sad and pathetic, like just a bowl of broccoli. And meanwhile, I just see like a notification. I'm like, yep, it's this big, gigantic, like Flintstone style leg.
It was. But on Twitter today, I saw something interesting. Turkey Leg Hut put out a new dress code. And it says, all body parts must be completely covered. All cleavage, breast, thighs, and buttocks. First of all, who uses buttocks?
First off, this is Houston?
Exactly. Where it's literally the fucking temperature of the surface of the sun.
Yeah.
Like, all day, all night, it's hot.
Yeah.
They must be completely covered. The only thing naked here is turkey legs and chicken wings.
Oh, fuck you.
Excuse
No.
me. No swimwear, no exposed undergarments, no house attire, including no wave caps, bonnets, do-rags, bandanas, house shoes, or shower caps allowed. You want to feel at home, but this is not your home. Number 5, which is probably is my favorite one. No excessively revealing clothing, which kind of is the same thing as number 1. And you could understand what that means. And then no obscene language or baggy clothing. Now, I'm going to tell you what it was like at the Turkey Hut. They have an indoor area. You could sit down, but I think because of the panorama, it wasn't like super full in there. And then they have a big outdoor area. Whether it's been like that this whole time or they just created it, who knows? But they have a bar in the middle where they're like, and maybe this was, I went there on like a Wednesday night and it was popping. They had a bar outside. They had hookah. Like, it was like a super black, like fun joint.
First and foremost, all you had to say was they had hookah, so it's a black ass establishment.
It's a black ass establishment,
and it's in Houston.
And earlier they had a crab boil person coming. Like,
what?
It was a whole event. Like, it was a whole moment. It was really fun. I was there. I was excited. I was like enjoying myself. They sell all the drink, like what was the drink I had? It was called the side piece, I think.
Yeah.
First of all, you're selling drinks.
First off, you have
called
drinks called the side piece. Yeah.
But I can't wear a house. I mean, now I'm gonna say this. My mother taught us when you're gonna go out to eat. Like I have different clothes that I'm gonna wear to a restaurant versus when I'm going to like the park.
Yeah,
right?
church clothes.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Well, I mean, like, or not church clothes, Sunday clothes. Like,
well,
your very nice Sunday
I always had
clothes.
my play clothes, which are things that I would be running around outside in, and then I had my nice clothes. But even your nice clothes have tiers because what I'm going to wear to Applebee's and what I'm going to wear to like Fogo de Chao, two different things.
Oh, tiers, Tiers.
Yes,
I
not
thought
tiers as in like a.
I was wondering, like, is everything
gang?
was everything okay? It's like, is it blood in, blood out with these clothes?
No, there was none of that.
Okay.
But so I personally am not going to wear. If I was going to like get food and I had like a bonnet or something on, I probably would just order it for takeout, pick it up, and go. But this is the same thing as like when people are talking about Monique. I personally, I'm not going to go out to a restaurant wearing my quote unquote play clothes. Now, if I go to pick you up and you're not dressed to go out to eat, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, let's switch and wait for you to get dressed.
Okay.
But if you're not in my party, I don't care what you're wearing to go out to eat. If I'm enjoying my meal, if I look over and you are wearing a freaking muumuu, ma'am, who cares? That's what you wanted to wear. Fine.
Okay.
So I'm really confused as to why
You know,
this is even a thing. Like, and they're not even like a 5-star restaurant. To me, they're like a Applebee's. To be honest, it's like it wasn't something where I'm like, oh, this is fancy. I'm gonna go here for my birthday for like a birthday dinner when I want to be dressed up. I would go there for just I'm eating a fucking smothered turkey leg.
It based on everything that you described, it screams Dallas BBQs vibes.
Yes, and let me tell you, let me tell you this. When we were sitting outside, we were sitting like they were high tables, right? My cousin and I had to switch seats when we saw another party get up because they gave us these like random crickety stools that you couldn't like really sit in, and we had to switch them to these other you don't even have unified. First of all, if you don't have unified seating, shut up.
Wait, time
okay?
out. I'm gonna ask one question, and this will solve everything. When they give you food or when you take your food and you are finished, do you put your trays on top of a trash can? Do they have trays where they put it?
They take them.
Oh, so there are trays.
It comes on a big, literally the turkey comes on a big, huge tray. You can't fit it on anything else.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Exactly. Like
all of my food came on a tray.
The fact that this is now a sort of thing, as opposed to clearly this wasn't happening when you went for your birthday.
I definitely saw people with some booties out and excessive clothing.
Yeah, just the right. I'm not about to get into booty meat, but. But what I will say is that this screams one too many Karens complaining to management.
I think it screams well, these are black Karens because we all know about the respectability politics.
Goodness, yes. We don't talk about that enough. Black Karens are the hoteps of women.
The foteps.
Of black women.
Oof.
Even saying that hurts my heart because, well, we'll get into that later. But yeah.
I mean, it's annoying.
Yeah, it is. It's very annoying.
But speaking of annoying things that are now done.
Yeah.
Megan, my father is John McCain.
You wanna? No, you're right. That's her middle name. Megan, my father was John McCain. Yo, he was a sick fuck in many ways, but he was definitely sick for that middle name. Continue.
She is leaving The View. Yes, please, no, you need it. Yes. And so she had said that, it wasn't an easy decision. She's eternally grateful to have had this opportunity here. So seriously, thank you from the absolute bottom of my heart. And so one thing that I found that was really funny is apparently the co-host said that her dad, before he passed, when they found, I guess he was meeting them all when she was coming on the show, he told Sonny Hosted, He told me to take it easy on Megan, that I would learn to love her and understand her, and that she would be a pain in the ass, and he was right about all those things. And then everybody on all the co-hosts were like, yeah, he definitely did say that. Mm-hmm. And Megan was there, so it wasn't like it was behind her back.
Right. This wasn't like shady, but at the same time, it was like, well, one of those statements wasn't true. You know, like the statement about like
Growing
she's
fond.
a pain in the she's a pain in the ass, but you'll grow fond of her. Well, definitely one of those things is not like the other. One of those things happened.
Because it's just like, ma'am, you need to really calm down, because you're every time, like when she told when Whoopi Goldberg had to tell her, like, girl, you need to calm down and be quiet, because she kept talking over Sunny one time, and she was like, fine, well, I just won't talk the rest of the episode. And we were like, good,
hooray, that's great. Sit there and get paid to be conservative. Well, this is a sideways shout out to the inevitable Fox News panelist job that she will no doubtably end up having, and when that eventually comes, so won't even really be interested in ever seeing her face. But good, but good on The View. Good on The View. Do you think they're gonna replace her, or do you think they're just gonna keep it as is?
Like Candace Owens or something.
Oh no!
They're gonna force her on the show so she can be controversial.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, controversy sells, and oh boy,
disgusting. If they put her on there, I can't watch her. Her hair always looks bad.
It does. Okay, you know what? My mom always told me never talk about a black woman's hair in front of her in a room full of black women. So like,
I don't care.
Yeah,
she looks terrible all the time.
She said
she has a bad perm. Her hair looks really dry. Mm-hmm. Use some conditioner, please. Stop using Pantene. It's like she uses the white girl Pantene. You need to buy the black one, ma'am.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's just flakes.
Okay. Moving on.
See, and this is why I'm not allowed to talk about it. Shout out to my mom. You were right. So where are we on now?
So now we have one more thing before we have to get into the main thing that I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
But this is just to give us some joy. All right. So now you know who Tabitha Brown is?
Yes.
The lovely vegan Southern influencer who says like this and like that and all that. You know, we love her.
I'm familiar with her.
Tab stands.
Mm-hmm. Now, wait. I would like to do an air horn, but should I wait for it?
You can do an air horn.
Shout out to you.
So, do you also know Wendy Williams?
I am familiar with Miss Williams' work in oeuvre.
How you doing? Yes. So, now you know on her show, from her radio show to now her TV show, she always loves to comment on people's lives. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times when she's commenting, she really is not that nice. So, apparently, I believe like last week or early this week, Wendy Williams put a clip of a video clip of Tabitha and her husband where, or no, I think it might have just been Tab. I don't remember, but either way, Tabitha was talking about how because of how successful the family has been over like the last kind of year where they've just skyrocketed to fame, she's been able to retire her husband who was in the LAPD for the last 15 years. Oh. And so everyone was like, that's so sweet, blah, blah, blah. Wendy goes on the show and is like, ooh, girl, you know, you don't want to do that. Look at me. I did that. And you know what happens? You know, he's not going to feel manly or no, what did she say? She was like, you know, it's going to get rocky because you guys are going to do a business together or he's going to get swindled and then you guys are going to be fighting. And basically she was like, oh, you shouldn't do it because... So
she just copied and pasted her resume and assumed that, she was projecting.
She was projecting. And so I want to play for you a clip of what Tab said in response.
Okay.
And I think that you all are really going to enjoy it.
Okay, hit me with that clip.
And because it just brought me so much joy.
Very good, honey. I was up doing a little work here. That's why I got my pajamas on in my office. And then my phone started going off.
That is the
first of all, Wendy Williams, honey, God bless you. But listen, let me tell you this. 23 years I've been with my husband. Yes, together, right? And I know you may not know what that looks like in a genuine place. However, God has blessed me. That is the power of God. It's also the power of allowing God to be first in your marriage. First, okay? I pray that love finds you. True love. I'm saying that God bless you. You are not well. We need true support. I pray that somebody loves you enough to sacrifice their life for you. Ooh, my goodness. Why would we dishonor God? Ooh, honey. I'm excited about that. Ooh, I pray that somebody finds you. With that being said, let us all pray for people like Miss Wendy. Now, I want y'all to go on about your business.
Oh my God.
And this
Oh,
man,
my
Matthias J Speaks, he took her audio and put the ether beat, because this is the best read that I have seen and heard for some time, especially because she still has that sweet, calm demeanor. And you know, when I'm angry, I try to also speak calmly and clearly, because I want you to hear all of the things that I have to say, and I don't want you to be confused. And I don't want you to not hear me because I might be yelling. So I need you to get your life from my words. So I really understood why she said, you know what? I'm going to snatch that big bulky wig off your head, but just with also love. It's like I'm going to hug you while I'm doing it.
The fact that she so effortlessly, like, just said that, like, you're not well and you need the Lord, and thank God, like, just to be able to effectively equal parts throw shade, equal parts like kind of saying, hey, we're still rooting for you, in equal parts, this is what a healthy person looks like. All praise Jesus. Oh my God, this is what, she gets queen status. Can we do a new thing where we just give out queen awards, queenies?
Yeah, queenies.
She, you know what, she's queenie of the week.
And I think that it was interesting because in the longer,
I don't need a drop for that.
Take a shot. In the longer video, she just talks about how, you know, she and her husband, they've been married this whole time. They've been broke together. That she's been a stay-at-home mom. He allowed her to do that. When he decided to get this job so that she could pursue her dreams of being an actress and everything like that, and has taken care of the family. And they had agreed, you know, when things get good, that he would be able to leave. And I also was reading that I believe he has a coaching position.
Ooh, okay.
That he actually was going to be doing anyway. So it's not like, it was like, okay, he's retiring from this LAPD. Words.
Water.
He is retiring from the LAPD. However, it's like, that's dope that he doesn't have to be a freaking pig anymore.
Thank goodness.
Like, and he doesn't have to be, even...
He doesn't even have to, like, be in it long enough to get his own pension or something like that? Because isn't it like 20...
Oh, I'm not sure.
30 years or something like that.
But at least it's like,
15.
even if the police officers were not terrible, the fact that he can, like, she knows he's going to be as safe as possible. And hopefully, you know, being ex-police is going to give him possibly some kind of protection on the streets. Who knows? But it's like, now she doesn't have to worry about where her husband is at work and all that, because it's a dangerous job. Yeah,
she doesn't have to worry about his safety or anything like that, you know?
So it's like, why wouldn't I put my husband... Yeah, like, to put my husband... You're in a partnership. Like, that means if I make it, you make it, and then we could be, like, dope together, and maybe you could do something you've always wanted to do. And if it so happens that he does something and he, you know, stumbles... If you're insecure enough, if you're too insecure as a husband that your wife making more than you, it is intimidating and makes you want to be angry towards her or whatever, like, you shouldn't be married. Yeah. Because what about all those people who your husband's a teacher and the wife is a doctor? Clearly that's a different financial break, but if you're going to allow other people to dictate how you are in your relationship and try to shame you, like, that is a personal problem that he would need to go to therapy for. Well, not her. Like, why should she not want to make sure that her husband is good? But
yeah, I mean, honestly, Wendy, the fact that Wendy is out here projecting that kind of energy just tells me, and she's doing it on her own television show, because that's not really good. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
And you know what that means? That is a sign that she does not have any close friends. Like, just to be like,
She doesn't.
you know, this is definitely a group chat sort of thing of just like, did you see this motherfucker? Like, she out here retired, and then the group chat could probably go like, girl, don't even worry about her. You know why? I really hope that those two responses were not problematic.
But also, like, if you think about it, she has a whole television show. That means they're pitching what news they're going to talk about. Your producers didn't tell you, leave this woman alone. And did you see? It was probably like last week or so. Wendy had Debrat on her show.
I
a
didn't see
virtual
it.
one.
I didn't see it.
I just saw the clip, and it was like, Wendy was talking about something, and she was saying to Debrat, like, you know, Debrat's always been good at picking people up and something like that. And she was like, "Oh, would you pick me up?" And Debrat was like, "Well, I'm married," and she was like, "Well, you know, if she wasn't in the picture, would you have, you know?" And she was like, "I don't find you attractive. Like, you're a beautiful woman, but I don't find you attractive in that way."
Yeah.
And Wendy kept pressing her, and it's like, now
she's, you know what? I feel like she's broadcasting like jilted divorcee and really trying to like that kind of energy, and it just does not look good in any way, shape, or form.
Like, how disrespectful is it if you had it doesn't matter the person's gender on your show. If somebody's married, you know that they're married, they're engaged, you asking them, "Ooh, are you attracted to me?" is
that's a line. That's a line that you should not be crossing.
And then you're kind of putting that person in an odd point, because now if they say something affirming to it, then then the tabloids are going to take it, and then if they say, and then their partner could be upset, and then if they don't say anything, then they feel bad, because now people are going to be like putting that in something else. It's like, just, Wendy, calm down.
Well, Wendy's out here being messy as usual, but this type of messiness is not a good, like, this is like personal messiness coming out in full form on top of the professional messiness. Don't let it fuck up your money, man. Go take your sups and drink some water and just relax because she is thirsty as fuck.
She's hella thirsty, and when you go look at Wendy Williams' Instagram, and I promise you, you're gonna. It looks very auntie-ish, but in an interesting way. And I just would like you to do that. And the thing is, I've been listening to Wendy Williams since I was a child, and to me, like, you're a really great journalist, and I wish you used your powers for good, because it's like you make your money off of just kind of being mean and rude to people, and sometimes at their worst spots. And I just feel like you don't need to do that, because you're really talented, and you don't need to be like a shock jock anymore. Yeah, you've made it. Like, will people still watch you if you're not mean? Yes, they will. And if they don't, who cares? But at least you won't be getting all this negativity thrown at you all the time.
Well, hopefully one day she won't be as messy. So what else do we have?
All right, so this is the big thing I want to talk to you I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
I drank all my water, and now I have Zobo and wine. That's what I got.
Okay, well, don't worry. We'll once we get to break, we'll make sure you get some more water.
So basically, you know that the Olympics are coming up, right?
Yes, they are.
So, and you know that we have, like, it's been like black girl magic at the Olympics. You could do it.
We've been out here dominating. I know we constantly talk about, I don't want to get, I forget the gymnast name.
Simone Biles?
Yes, we constantly talk about her on this very fucking show, because she's up here breaking records and just like being amazing, outpacing everybody. Yeah. But continue.
But now there's been some really shady shit happening, and I'm gonna go from like the least to the greatest. Mm-hmm. Okay, number one, you know what? You have swim caps, right? Mm-hmm. And like I don't know if you ever tried to use a swim cap when you were younger.
I did.
But they're really difficult to put over your head, especially if you have hair, if you have braids or whatever. Yeah. So there's a black-owned swim company called Soul Cap, and it's like, specifically designed for our hair.
Yes.
The Olympics has barred them from people from wearing that, and they said that the athletes, the FINA, which is basically the Federation for International Competitions, they said that athletes competing at the international events never used, neither required to use caps of such size and configuration. And my thing is, so you're telling me all of the white swimmers never needed a cap specifically for people who are black with black hair? Wow, that is so shocking. And it's like, you can find swim caps that are big enough, but they're not always comfortable, and they don't always protect your hair. Because when I've used swim caps, I feel like they did literally nothing. And white people hair is different than our hair.
Yeah,
when
white people hair just doesn't
comes into it, it can be really, really destructive to our hair.
Yes.
So if they're going to however this cap is created, it's created to protect your hair as best as possible in the water.
As a high-ranking athlete, they already sacrifice so much. It's why should we have to sacrifice our hair too, in addition to hours of pushing their bodies to that level of specification and talent.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. It makes sense in that it's racist as fuck.
I mean, white supremacy wins again, people. I say it so often because it's just sprinkled into everything.
It's everywhere.
And then another situation with the Olympics is Christine Momboma from Nambia. She's 18 years old, and she ran 48.54 in the 400 meters in Poland.
Fantastic.
Which is like great. No, it's great. It's no one her age has gotten that speed in years.
So shout out to you.
Yeah. Amazing, right? So she has now listed as withdrawn from the Olympics with Patrice Masalingi, who I believe might also be from Nambia or from East Africa, with her name, as well as Castor Semenya, Francine Nyon Saba, and Margaret Wambui. All of them, I believe, are East African. All of them are being disqualified or withdrawn, and the reason is because they have all refused to take pills that will lower their testosterone. They want them to take birth control pills because they are biological women. They are not trans. And they are just born with higher testosterone levels. And they're trying to force them to take pills to quote unquote make it even. When it's how is it not even? They're people. They're just people, and they're born. You're telling me I'm a woman, I can't compete in a woman's competition because I have too much testosterone? If I was a man competing in the men's division and I had too much estrogen, would I be kicked out? It's not fair, and I don't. It's ridiculous, and it's also speaks to the transphobia in sports that people don't want to talk about. And people have said, of course, when trans women want to compete as women, that it's always a big uproar. And I'm like, you're saying that people with testosterone are going to be stronger or faster, etc. But if you are a trans woman and you are taking estrogen, you are still reducing your body is transitioning. So you are no longer at your peak testosterone level because you are purposely taking the estrogen to reduce it. So it's you have that, and now you have this what is the word?
Masculinization.
Yes, of black women, just for the sake of the fact that they are really good and strong at doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
and it's just that
they continue to find ways to pinpoint exactly why we're so fucking great and why we have the magic that we have and then try to find ways to like lower us down and even to I don't want to say peers, to the average peons of whatever that level is, and it's sickening to me.
And it's not new. I mean,
it's not new at all.
Interesting fact, I'm blanking on the name of the country right now, but I believe it was in East Africa where literally the men and women would grow to be like 7 to 8 feet, right? Tallest people in the world.
Okay.
Colonizers come in, they see them, they're scared of them because they're like, oh, they're going to be too powerful. And they basically, it was genocide, and they purposely would bring in other Africans to breed with them so that they could become shorter, or raping them themselves and introducing their bloodline so that they could become shorter. And now those tribes are still like out of those African tribes, when you see like the Maasai who are like really tall, of course they're still existing, but not nearly as like
plentiful
or as pure of a genetic code as they were previously. Why? Because white people were afraid. And it constantly is happening, and it just pisses me off. And now this other situation that happened, Olympic champion Brianna McNeil, she's no longer going to be going to the Tokyo Olympics. She won a gold medal in 100-meter hurdles in Rio in 2016, and this year she was trying to do the same for that. And but the dope, whatever, the dope people, the U.S. Olympic Dope Association or whatever, they said she is not allowed to race because she missed a testing for doping control. And the reason why she missed it was because she was at home recovering from having an abortion. And when they came to her house, she was obviously like probably sleeping or probably not moving because she didn't hear them. And they're saying that her documents had misinformation or weren't proper or whatever. And so they are giving her a 5-year ban. So that means not only is she going to miss this one, but she's going to miss the one in 2024 in Paris.
Wait, I'm sorry. You've lost me. They came by, they saw that because she missed it. Okay.
They came by her house.
They knocked.
They knocked. She didn't answer.
She was what, they bust in there like they're fucking LAPD?
They didn't come in the house. She didn't hear them.
Okay.
So she missed the appointment.
Oh,
and they're saying because
got
she
you.
missed an appointment, she no longer can perform. And I mean, like,
they can't reschedule that shit?
Well, they're saying it was inconsistencies, and she had gotten fined. I believe it said in 2016 they banned her for a year because she missed 3 random drug tests. But it's like whatever happened in 2016 is not now. She has documentation for an abortion. What else would you like her to do? Show her her uterus, like, to confirm? It's like, why are you penalizing her after having gone through what I'm sure is a painful and traumatic experience?
Yeah.
And now she can't even compete. And when the next time she can compete, she's going to be significantly older. And she's not going to be old. She's still going to be a young woman. But compared to like Sha'Carri Richardson's 21. So if in 5 whatever years, if she would be wanting to do Paris, well, she wouldn't even be able to do that. She would have to wait till 2029.
Right.
And she'd be significantly older. And it's like you're going to be competing against people who are like fresh out the gate, and that's just not fair.
Yeah, it's unfair.
And now the last situation is another doping situation, and one that honestly makes me really sad because it's Sha'Carri Richardson, who I just mentioned, and like she's like the fastest woman right now.
Yeah.
She's a 21-year-old LSU student. Just beautiful young black girl. Always wearing colorful wigs and has her nails done. Her glam squad is just always on point.
Have I already done an air horn for her during this show?
No, you have not.
Shout out to you.
But the same association has disqualified her for 30 days or suspended her for 30 days because they found weed in her system. And
so
Yes, exactly.
She's the fastest in the world. Like, weed has nothing to do with that. The only thing weed has ever made me fast at is like eating Doritos. Like, that's
exactly.
it.
It's not a performance enhancing drug.
No.
It would actually slow you down for real. But on the Today Show, and I have a clip of it that I'm going to play. So on the Today Show, she said that she was using the drug to deal with the pressure of competing on the biggest stage. Plus, she had before the event on June 20th when she won, she found out that her biological mother passed by a reporter. So it wasn't like she found out by a reporter. She was dealing with both the stress of being trying to get to the Olympics. Now you find out your mother passed. She was in a state that it was legal, and she had some puffs. And they are trying to villainize her. And I just want to play this clip from Good Morning America.
Okay.
Where she like apologizes and just talks to everyone. Okay, so she's on Today's Show, and she just was talking about what happened, and she was apologizing. So that's what we're about to listen to.
To my fans and my family, to my sponsorship, to the haters too. I apologize as much as I'm disappointed. I know that when I submit a track, I don't represent myself. I represent a community that has shown me great support, great love. And to y'all, I failed y'all. And so I apologize for the fact that I didn't know how to control my emotions or deal with my emotions during that time. And what I would just leave with my fans, or I would just leave out there, is that, like I tweeted and said yesterday, I'm human. We're human. My statement, what I always say in my interviews, I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys, whether it's good, whether it's bad. But when it comes to Sha'Carri Richardson, it's never been a steroid. It will never be a steroid attached to the name Sha'Carri Richardson. The charge and what the situation was marijuana. I'm not encouraging anybody to do it. I'm not saying, oh, don't do it or anything like that. But if you choose to do things in your personal time or things like that, you just should know or beware of the consequences, or just know, or just find different ways to just cope or do what it is that will make you feel better. But sitting here, I just say, don't judge me, because I am human. I'm you. I just happen to run a little faster. I understand there's going to be people that still have something to say that don't necessarily understand. And I wouldn't even call them haters if they want to choose to show their character of a person, even after me saying what I've said, and putting myself out there, then that's just on you, your character, and you have to live with that. But I greatly appreciate being able to tell my side of the story. And like I said, to my fans, my family, my sponsorship, and the haters, I greatly apologize if I let you guys down, and I did. And I just want to let y'all know this will be the last time the Olympics don't see Sha'Carri Richardson, and this will be the last time the U.S. Doesn't come home with a gold medal in 100.
So
That was just that broke my heart, because you could tell, like,
she's so distraught, and you could see in her face, like, she was trying not to cry. Like, she's 21 years old. She has all these things on her shoulders. And someone tweeted out something that I felt was really, it made a lot of sense. Like, you're gonna fault her for for smoking, but like in the Olympic Village, you're giving out alcohol, so it's obviously that you don't care about.
They're giving out alcohol and allowing people to just like have sex, like all over the place. And
did you know that in the NBA, sometimes that they put like shots in the players' knees to like make sure that so that they can like play
because of the cartilage, like so that their cartilage doesn't harden.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
it's like, so we can use drugs sometimes, but not other times. And especially like if you're not using a performance enhancing drug, why does it matter what is in your system? It's not enhancing you. It would actually make you slower.
Yeah.
If you're smoking weed, like. And are you mad that she was able to run that fast while also having cannabis in her system?
Now, granted, I don't pay too many fucks to the Olympics other than seeing, the the awesome black magic of various players from various countries. But I also don't ever hear any of these sort of scandals with white people or white athletes. Like where are all the scandals with that? At least I think the closest one that I do kind of remember is Michael Phelps, but I feel like the only reason why I remember that is because his ass was in Maryland, and where I'm from Maryland, and he was like, oh man, like we all love Michael Phelps or whatever like that, and it was just weed. Like, yeah, I smoke weed, and now I own part of Acorns or some bullshit like that. I don't know.
Him smoking a bong, like, but it was after the Olympics.
It was after the Olympics.
I think he definitely was fined, or he lost some endorsements, but that was way before weed was even legal. But right now plenty of countries have it legal. Plenty of states in the United States have it legal. So it's like, if you can't give her grace in the situation, because although she could still go to the Olympics because she can't perform in her 100 meters, but she can do the relay.
But she's going to the Olympics without her mother. Like, come on, so where's the humanity?
So her biological mother didn't raise her; her grandmother did. So it wasn't. I think like her sadness, of course, is the fact that like her biological mother passed, whether or not she was really a part of her life. But it's like a reporter tells you, hey, how do you feel that your mother passed? And you're like, what?
It's a traumatic experience nonetheless.
Like, it's just like, what are you talking about? And then now you have to do that, plus go outside and perform. Like, I can't imagine. She's just a baby. Like,
yeah. Doing all of that, having to deal with that trauma. Plus, again, the already, as we've said it before, the already added stress of black excellence and having to like deal with that pressure too. It's insane. Like, come on, like have some fucking heart, have some leeway. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, I mean, they've been doing this to black Olympians and just non-white Olympians forever. I saw someone tweeted about this indigenous athlete, Jim Thorpe, who they stripped of his titles because he was like playing semi-pro baseball, like on some obscure rule. And it's like they will always find ways for white supremacy to win. Like, they just don't care. They're going to try to, you're doing well, all right, get out. And what really bothered me with the Sha'Carri situation is so many even though she has a lot of great fans, like there's a whole hashtag "Let Her Run," that's been going around social media. But like a lot of black people who are like, "Oh, she should have known better," or she should have figured out some other way to deal with your feelings. First of all, how many of you smoke that all the time? How many of you do not know how to deal with your feelings and are constantly like getting into fights, drinking your problems away, sexing your problems away? Like you're not being like super. What is the word, like, quote unquote responsible, and you're even older than her. But like this, again, respectability politics that come into play when this girl is no longer perfect is shitty. And now I will say, I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like. Unfortunately, Sha'Carri has some problems with Lil Nas X. She said, if you follow Lil Nas X, unfollow me. Now, this is the thing.
We can move past this. Like, I'm not getting into this right now. We're not.
Well, you don't have to get into it, but I'm still going to.
Well, you can continue.
But she said that, and some people were like, "Oh, I'm not supporting her anymore," and I'm like, "We don't." She's queer herself. She has a girlfriend, so it could, whether or not it's because, from my perspective, who knows?
Who knows?
The fact that she could be really Christian and doesn't want to see the devil in shows. We don't know. She didn't say, he's gay, I don't like him. I mean, she's also gay. She could be have internalized homophobia. No clue.
Nobody knows.
But these are small. That does not mean that she should not be supported. Like, I feel like black women, if we do something that someone doesn't like, it's automatically like, oh, she's the worst, versus giving them grace and being able to like make up for their mistakes.
Right. So listeners, at the very least, we should be able to grant her grace.
Yes.
So even if the fucking Olympic people don't,
send her love.
Send her some kind wishes, And
again, she's going through a lot.
Yeah. So we're only human, man. All right, you think we should go to a break now?
We shall, because I'm thirsty.
All right, then. We will be back with more of this.
You're listening to the Black and Snerdy podcast.